Chapter 771. There must be a representative from her parental family. After Zai Sheng left, he did not go back to the Zai family's residence. Instead, he went to the hospital. When Zai Sheng reached the hospital, he saw Xiao Dongliang sit quietly by himself. He lowered his eyes and was silent. He was deep in his thoughts as if he were pondering some important issues. He was so still as if he was not there. However, everyone that had seen Xiao Dongliang could feel that he seemed to be deeply troubled. "Uncle Xiao. You are here." Xiao Dongliang looked up and noticed the stiffness in his neck. "Nan Nan. I have sent Nan Nan back home. I have arranged for her to stay with Shiqing for the time being." "That's good." Xiao Dongliang had a reluctant smile on his face. "You have taken care of Nan Nan much better than me. I can feel assured with you by her side." Although he was not used to having him by his daughter's side, Xiao Dongliang had always been approving of Zai Sheng. "Do you know what I was thinking just now?" "I don't know." Zai Sheng did not say anything else apart from sitting down quietly beside Xiao Dongliang. Ding Jiyi's ward was right in front of him. After 4 hours of emergency treatment, Ding Jiyi's life was no longer in danger. But 2 of the ribs at her abdominal cavity were broken. One of them even pierced her lungs. Thankfully, the wound was not too deep and it did not go through it. Even so, Ding Jiyi was rescued from the brink of death. I was reminded of what happened 3 years ago. 3 years ago, it was also about this time of the year. You brought Nan Nan, who was covered in blood, to the factory to look for me. That day, Nan Nan cried very badly. I took her to the hospital. It was then that I realized that even though the society was well developed, Nan Nan had been suffering from malnutrition. Xiao Dongliang let out a deep sigh. In fact, I still have that outdated way of thinking. I feel that sons are better than daughters as they can carry on the family line. Therefore, I have not treated Zaijin or Nan Nan well. I have lost the right to be a soldier because I have 2 children. I feel that I have sacrificed more than enough for them. Every day, I will lead a mundane life, shuffling between work and my house. I work hard to support my family and to provide my children through school. As a father of 2 children, I have a clear conscience. It was until then that you realized that you are wrong?" Zai Sheng asked. "Yes, until that time." Xiao Dongliang covered his face with his hands, as if he was too ashamed to face others. "That time, I realized that because of my hands-off approach and Ding Jiyi's biased attitude towards Zaijin, Nan Nan suffered a lot of injustice all these years. But over the years, Ding Jiyi had been brainwashing me that Zaijin was better and she would have a brighter future. As such, I even thought of getting a husband for Zaijin and for him to take our surname. I knew that Nan Nan had suffered injustice, but I did not seek justice for her. Instead, I asked Nan Nan to give in and compromise. I am only good with words, but I did not follow through with actions." Zai Sheng knew that it took a lot of courage for Xiao Dongliang to admit his mistakes that he once committed. Not every man had the courage to do that. The child would not point out his father's mistakes. A father's pride did not allow him to admit his own mistakes as well. Thereafter, Zai Sheng remained silent throughout. He did not make a single comment or say a word. He sat by Xiao Dongliang's side as he listened to him quietly. "I was going around in circles. Although Nan Nan refuses to be too harsh, some people are out to drive her to a dead end. Even if she owes Ding Jiyi and me in previous life, she has repaid her debts in this life. But there will be more in store for Nan Nan. Zai Sheng, you know Nan Nan's temper. No matter whether she has self-confidence or not, there is no way that she will not mind that you come from an established family. Even if you feel that whatever you do is for her own good, don't you think you should control yourself? Perhaps you should take a step back and consider whether what you have done is really what she needs." "Uncle Xiao, you don't have to worry. I understand what you mean. You are a smart person. Unless you are not willing, I know that you will understand my meaning. Has Uncle Chiao come to a decision? Yes. Chiao Dongliang nodded. You told me to consider whether what I did for Nan Nan is really what she needs. Uncle Chiao, you should know best how Nan Nan's personality is. You can be assured that my decision has nothing to do with Nan Nan. It is for my own sake. I am an ordinary person. I just want to lead a simple and peaceful life. I cannot stand so many ups and downs. Since she cannot lead a simple life, it only goes to show that we are not meant for each other. Although we have once been together, we will have to go our separate ways sooner or later. Right now, it is time to part. This time, Chiao Dongliang had really made up his mind. It had dragged on for 3 years. Chiao Dongliang was exhausted. Unlike the hesitation that he felt previously, he felt as if a load was being lifted off his shoulder when he thought of divorce this time. He felt relieved. I am glad that you have made up your mind. Zai Sheng did not express any opinions. Uncle Chiao, this is for you. Zai Sheng took out a passbook from his pocket. Nan Nan passed this to me when I sent her home. In fact, Nan Nan is prepared. Chiao Dongliang bent forward and broke into tears when he looked at the numbers in the passbook. It had been more than a year since he last saw Chiao Zijin. She did not ask him for a single cent for her school fees. On one hand, he was worried, but on the other hand, he felt reassured. Over the past decades, he had spent all his hard-earned money on Chiao Zijin. Now that Chiao Zijin had been out of his life for more than 1 year, he could spend all his money that he earned in this 1 year on Chiao Nan. What he had given Chiao Nan was so much lesser than what he had given Chiao Zijin. No matter how much he had given her in this 1 year, it was his love for his younger daughter. It was also a form of compensation for her. To his surprise, Nan Nan did not spend a single cent of the money that he gave her. In fact, she even saved up the money that she earned from giving tuition to the children. She gave him all her hard-earned savings that was meant for her college fees. Chiao Dongliang felt so bitter inside. He was rendered speechless. Chiao Dongliang cried silently beside Zai Sheng. Zai Sheng sat quietly beside him. When Chiao Dongliang finally stopped sobbing and calmed himself down, Zai Sheng passed him a cup of water. The weather is hot. Have some water. Zai Sheng could tell from Chiao Dongliang's chapped lips that he had not had a sip of water or taken any food since this morning when he sent Ding Jiyi to the hospital. It had been a whole day. Uncle Chiao, I will check around and get you some food. Nan Nan will no longer have a good mother in this life. But at the very least, she must not lose her father. On the day that I marry Nan Nan, she cannot possibly do without anyone from her family. Chapter 772 End of College Entrance Examination. Okay. Chiao Dongliang rubbed his face with his hands, wiping away his tears. Thank you. Zai Sheng stood up to buy some food for Chiao Dongliang, while the latter finished the water in one go. Since it had already been decided, there was nothing to hesitate or to have regrets. In fact, he had no regrets about making this decision. His only regret was why he did not make up his mind 2 years ago. Chiao Dongliang felt much better after drinking some water and having some food. I have to thank you for what happened today. I believe you will accompany Nan Nan to school tomorrow. It is getting late. You should go back to rest. You have to rest well in order to take good care of Nan Nan. I am fine. All right, I will make a move first. Zai Sheng did not decline. He stood up, hailed a car, and went back to the Zai family's residence. It was late by the time he reached home. Everyone should have been asleep. However, Zai Sheng had just entered the door when Zai Yawai came out in his pajamas. How is the situation at Pingcheng High School? It has been under control. We have caught several suspects and have sent them to the police station. We will take the time to interrogate them. Zai Sheng changed his shoes. We must get to the bottom of this matter. Zai Yaowai looked sullen. Regardless of whether what happened was an accident or not, he would not allow such an incident to happen again. The students were the hope and future of the country. They were the future leaders of the country, and they were the ones who would help the country to develop and grow in the future. Whoever stopped the students from sitting for their college entrance examination on a personal level would be personal vendetta, whereas on a bigger level, it would be going against the people and the country. As a national soldier, Zai Yaowai would not let off such enemies of the national level. Notwithstanding that the future daughter-in-law of the Zai family was the target of the whole matter. On a national level and personal level, this matter had to be dealt with seriously so as to set a good example. Of course. How is Qiao Nan's mother? Obviously, Zai Yaowai knew what exactly was going on. Have you spoken to my master? Zai Sheng asked. Yes. Then, you should have known that she had a car accident and was sent to the hospital. She broke 2 ribs, one of them pierced into her lungs. But she is no longer in a critical condition. Zai Sheng sounded as if he was making a report. He was devoid of any emotions. Zai Yaowai was annoyed at his son's behavior. Okay, you should go to sleep. He had been back from the army for a whole day, but he only came back home so late into the night. He had spent the whole day being with someone else's daughter. From the way he behaved, he must be thinking of having an early rest and to continue to accompany the lady tomorrow. Dad. Good night. Zai Sheng turned and returned to his room without another word. He had been waiting for his father to dismiss him so that he could go back to his room. Young brat. Zai Yaowai's expression darkened. He took off his slipper and threw it toward Zai Sheng's back. Unfortunately, Zai Sheng was young and agile. He had already closed the door to his room. Bam! Zai Yaowai's slipper hit Zai Sheng's room and fell to the floor. Click! Right then, Zai Sheng opened the door. He squatted down to pick up the slipper and threw it accurately back to where Zai Yaowai's feet were. You are no longer young. You should watch what you are doing. Don't overexert yourself. With that, Zai Sheng closed the door again. He had no intention to open it. Zai Yaowai was fuming in anger at his words. His son only had eyes for someone else's daughter, while his daughter fell head over heels for someone else's son. Zai Yaowai could not help but frown at the thought of his children. He wished that he could turn back time to when they were just born. This time, no matter what, he would raise them up by himself. Like Zai Yaowai, who felt vexed with his children's problems, Qiao Dongliang, who had come to a decision, had been sitting at the hospital's corridor for a long time. It was about midnight when he finally walked into Ding Jiyi's ward and sat by her bed. Ding Jiyi was hurt badly due to the accident. She was so swollen and bandaged that only her loved ones would be able to recognize her from her injuries. Ding Jiyi had many tubes attached to her body. Qiao Dongliang was in a similar state when he was in an accident 2 years ago. Ding Jiyi, I don't know if you can hear what I am saying now. But I still want to say them. Ding Jiyi, we brought Nan Nan to this world, but she has repaid her debts to us. In the future, please let her off. Whether you admit it or not, Nan Nan is the only one who takes care of you when you are in trouble. I have no idea where Zaijin is now. I believe you have no idea as well. As for the rest, we will have a good talk after you wake up. After finishing his words, Qiao Dongliang had no wish to sit by her bedside. He would rather keep a distance between the two of them. Therefore, he chose to sleep while leaning against the wall. Early next morning, Zai Sheng brought breakfast to the Shi family's residence and picked up Qiao Nan along with Shi Cheng. The evening news on the same day had reports regarding the incident that took place at Pingcheng High School during the college entrance examination. It was also on the headlines of various newspapers the following morning. Today was the second day of the college entrance examination. Because of what happened yesterday, there were a lot of police officers and security officers who stood guard at all the exam venues to maintain order. Both of you should go in. Zai Sheng stood at the entrance to wait for Jiaonan to finish the exam. Usually, the parents would stand guard outside the examination hall to wait for their children to finish the exams. Zai Sheng stood out as the only young person who waited in the crowd. Some of them could not help but ask him out of curiosity. Are you here to send your younger sister to sit for the college entrance examination? Zai Sheng raised his eyebrows. No, it's my loved ones. The parent paused momentarily. One's younger sister should be considered one's loved ones, right? The next few exams went well for Jiaonan. However, since she was in the same examination hall as Su Tingting would cast her resentful look whenever she had the chance. Su Tingting might have wanted to affect Jiaonan with her glares, but Jiaonan was indifferent to her gimmicks. In the end, Su Tingting failed to disturb Jiaonan, and she was enraged by Jiaonan's nonchalance instead. We have finally finished the exams. It seems as if we are released from prison. Shi Qing stretched herself. I feel that I am so exhausted and drained after the college entrance examination. The 5 girls in Jiaonan's dormitory overheard Shi Qing's shameless words. They stared at Shi Qing's round face with contempt in their eyes. Compared with Jiaonan and Shi Qing, who looked radiant and fresh, they had turned skinny and had a pale complexion. They were the ones who had suffered from sitting for the exams. No matter what, we have finally finished the exams. After half a month's time, we will know our results. Zheng Lingling stretched herself as well. Chapter 773 Strict Parenting. Unlike Shi Qing and Nan Nan, who were able to sleep well and eat well during the 3 days of exams, these 3 days were sheer torture to them. This won't do. My parents are here to pick me up. Once I reach home, I will have a good rest before eating anything. Whoever dares to wake me up before noon tomorrow will get it from me. Tang Mengran barked and ran toward her parents like a tired dog. She got into the car and slumped in the seat. My parents have arrived. I will get going. See all of you half a month later when we go back to school to get our report card. People like Fang Fang were tired from the exams as well. Jiaonan was surprised that it was her parents instead of her childhood sweetheart who picked her up. Within 5 minutes' time, all of the roommates left with their parents. Jiaonan and Shi Qing were the only exceptions. It was not their parents, but someone was here to pick them up, though the person was only here for Jiaonan and Shi Qing was just tagging along. Brothers I. Even though her parents were not here, Jiaonan was just as happy to see Zai Sheng. Won't you feel too hot from standing under the sun? Do you think Brother Zai is a fool? It's July and the weather is scorching. He will definitely wait in the shade. Shi Qing interrupted. Zai Sheng, who was about to answer, pursed his lips and shot a cold look at Shi Qing. Shi Qing caught his eye and shut up right away. Zai Sheng took Jiaonan's belongings from her and passed her a bottle of cold mineral water. Drink some water. The summer is too hot. Be mindful not to dehydrate and suffer from heat stroke. Jiaonan took the bottle of mineral water from Zai Sheng after emptying her hands. It was cool to the touch but not too cold for her. She smiled and had a drink. This brand of mineral water is very tasty. It has a sweet taste to it. Shi Qing pouted her lips and turned sideways. Since Brother Zai had bought water, he should have bought one more bottle of water for her. He was so mean to care for his girlfriend but to disregard his sister. What did she mean that the water tasted sweet? She might not have been in a relationship, but she was not a fool. The water did not taste sweet. It was Jiaonan who felt sweet inside. Hey, they were without a conscience to show affection for each other in public. After reaching home, Jiaonan had intended to take a shower and change her clothes. After all, one would be sweaty in summer. It was very uncomfortable to wear clothes drenched in sweat. It was similar to those dried and crumpled preserved vegetables. But Zai Sheng stopped her. I bought dinner for you. After you have eaten, I will send you to the hospital. Now that Zai Sheng brought this up, Qiaonan and Shi Qing were reminded of something that they had intentionally ignored these 2 days. Ding Jiyi was in a car accident and was hospitalized. Okay. There was an indifferent look on Qiaonan's face. She ate a few mouthfuls of the rice that Zai Sheng bought for her. They were tasteless to her. She put them aside. Brother Zai, let's go. Qiaonan, do you want me to accompany you? Shi Qing had an awkward look on her face. It's okay. It was unsuitable. What if your mom bullies you? If I am there, I could protect you. Qiaonan smiled bitterly. 3 days have passed. My mom must have woken up. I cannot say for sure if she will bully me. But don't forget, my mother has suffered serious injuries. Even if she wants to bully me, she has no strength to do that. It will be best if she is asleep now. If she is awake, she will glare at me and scream at me at most, but she will not be able to come close to me. All right. Shi Qing, you should stay at home and rest. If you are bored, you can read books or watch television. I will send Nan Nan to the hospital. If they delayed any further, it would be late. Zai Sheng knew that there were people who were watching Qiaonan. He would not allow them to get hold of the chink in Qiaonan's armor. Brother Zai, let's go. Even if her mother was no longer in a critical condition, Qiaonan knew that as a daughter, it would not be good if she did not visit her mother. It was still all right for her not to visit her during the 3 days of the college entrance examination. However, now that exams were over, she had to make a trip to the hospital. Go ahead. I will watch the house for you. Shi Qing suppressed her anger. She had no wish to add to Qiaonan's burden. She waited until Zai Sheng left with Qiaonan to make a call to Shi Peng's office to complain. Dad, regarding the people who created a fuss the day before yesterday, how's the interrogation going? During the college entrance examination, Qiaonan and Shi Qing had never discussed that incident. Now that exams were over and Shi Qing had lots of time, she had to get to the bottom of this matter. She had to find out who was the heartless person who almost caused Qiaonan and her to miss their college entrance examination. It must be done on purpose. There are some clues. Shi Peng stopped writing and closed the file. He motioned for Secretary Feng to go out first. The majority of the people who appeared that day were hired by someone. But some of them were asked to join by their friends. Among the people who were present, there were 2 groups of people. The first group had been in direct contact with the person who paid them to go. The first group of people was only in contact with the pawns that were hired by the mastermind. The first group of people would be paid 50 yuan by the pawns. The mastermind would tell the pawns to look for people to join them. He would pay the pawns according to the number of people they managed to get. It all depended on their abilities. He would give them 50 yuan for every single person that joined them. He would not care how much money the pawns would give to the people that they asked to join them. The 50 yuan that he gave would be a down payment. After everything was over, he would pay them money based on the total number of people. The second group of people were those that were persuaded by the first group of people to sign up for the job. These people would only be paid 40 yuan. One could not get much information from the second group of people. But for those who cooperated with the police officers, the police would not give them too harsh a punishment. They had wanted to earn 40 yuan from the job. Therefore, the police officers would give them a fine of 40 yuan. It was tantamount to their pay for 10 days. These people did not earn any money. Instead, they were fined 10 days worth of pay. All of them were full of regrets. As for the first batch of people, the police officers kept a tight watch on them and interrogated them for details. What else? Have you found out who is the person who hired them? She only cared about important developments. She was not concerned about the investigation details. She would leave it to the police officers. Not yet. Shi Peng tapped his pen against the table. If this matter could be solved so easily, we would have already got to the bottom of it. Do you think that the person behind all this is a fool? Do you think it is that easy to be a police officer and that the case could be cracked so easily? Talk was cheap. Shi Qing calmed herself down. Dad, don't be angry. I don't mean it that way. I am just anxious. Even if you are anxious, you should be careful with your words. Have you forgotten how I used to teach you? I still remember. That's good. Remember, you must not commit this mistake again. Shi Peng was very strict in disciplining Shi Qing. Do not worry. I will handle this matter well. Chapter 774 Qiao Nan, you have to learn from your elder sister. Dad, you have to make sure that the police officers work harder. Qiao Nan went through painstaking effort to save the money for her college fees. But after what happened the day before yesterday, she gave all the money that she saved for a year to Uncle Qiao. It is to pay for the medical fees for the woman by the surname Ding. At the thought of this, Shi Qing's heart ached for Qiao Nan. Qiao Nan was not used to mixing with strangers. She was not interested in being a teacher as well. Instead of tutoring the students, Qiao Nan would rather spend time on her studies. However, in order to lighten Uncle Qiao's burden and realize her dream of studying in college, Qiao Nan overcame her fears and worked hard to earn the money. Right now, all her money was used on Ding Jiyi. Shi Qing felt unjust for Qiao Nan. Qiao Nan is very sensible. She has to do this. Otherwise, Qiao Nan would be criticized by others. It is not worth it. Qiao Nan was about to turn 20 years old. The money that Ding Jiyi spent on Qiao Nan in the past 20 years might not be as much as the amount of money that Qiao Nan spent on her this time. You can't measure it like that. Ding Jiyi gave birth to her. Qiao Nan has to spend this money. China placed importance on filial piety. Even if one should not practice unquestioning filial piety, one could not be unfilial. Ding Jiyi was hit by a car and was on the verge of death. Unless Qiao Nan did not have the ability, she could not watch by and do nothing. Qiao Nan earned this money with her own effort. She was willing to give the money to her father. It proves that she has thought it through. I try to make you see reason, but why is it that you are not as sensible as Qiao Nan? Indeed, one had to be sensible enough to use one's hard-earned savings on one's heartless mother. Zhu Baoqiu told me that Qiao Nan is too soft-hearted. She has suffered many grievances, but she will keep quiet about it. Those who are around her feel the pain as they watched her suffer in silence. She understood that Qiao Nan had to do that. However, she could not take it lying down. If you feel so vexed about it, how about I assign you a task? I will get Secretary Feng to make a call to the police station. You can learn your ways there. Of course, if you have a way to get some answers from the culprits, you can drop a reminder to the police officers. Shi Peng knew that since the college entrance examination was over, there was no one to make sure that Shi Qing studied and did her reading. Shi Qing had too much time on her hands. It was also such a coincidence that Ding Jiyi was in an accident. Qiao Nan had too many things on her hands. Shi Qing could not spend her time with her and learn from her. Shi Peng decided to assign a task to Shi Qing before she stirred up any trouble. Deal. Sure enough, Shi Qing, who was bored with nothing to do, agreed to her father's suggestion right away. In fact, if she really went with Qiao Nan to the hospital and watched as Qiao Nan waited on Ding Jiyi, given her temper, Shi Qing would be bursting with anger to the extent that she felt like killing someone. Instead of seeing such a painful scene, she would rather use her time to help Qiao Nan get to the bottom of this matter. Shi Qing rushed to the police station, while Qiao Nan went with Zai Sheng to the hospital that Ding Jiyi stayed in. Qiao Nan panicked when she saw the white exterior of the hospital. She took a few deep breaths at the entrance. Brother Zai, how about you tell me the ward that my mom is staying in and I will go there by myself. Xiaonan had not seen Ding Ji for more than 2 years. Xiaonan was slightly nervous and full of fear and trepidation now. "No, I will accompany you." Zai Sheng held Xiaonan's hand and stood by her side steadfastly. "My marriage report has been approved." In other words, as long as Xiaonan was willing, they are considered to be engaged. By the time Xiaonan reached the legal age, they would be real married couples. He had to stay by Xiaonan's side and face whatever hardships with her. Xiaonan smiled bitterly. She was not the least touched when she heard this piece of news today. "Then, let's go in now." Indeed, she needed support from Brother Zai in order to face her mother. The smell of formalin wafted toward Xiaonan. She turned pale. Beads of perspiration broke out on her forehead. Zai Shen noticed that Xiaonan looked unwell. He tightened his grip on her hand, transmitting his warmth to her through their clasped hands. "Dad," the first person that Xiaonan saw when she walked into the ward was Ding Ji. She was bandaged like a steamed rice dumpling. However, the first person that she called was her father. "Mom." "Humph. Do you still remember that I am your mom?" Arg, as Xiaonan had expected, Ding Ji, who was brought back to life, was used to treating Xiaonan harshly. She started to scold Xiaonan as soon as she saw her. "You are such a wretched girl. You are without a conscience. I am almost killed by a car, yet you wait until today to visit me. Do you wish that I would die from the accident? Is the exam more important than your mom?" When Ding Ji first woke up in the hospital, she was greeted by a cold and indifferent Jiao Dongliang. He was very distant toward her. This did not seem like the reunion that she was expecting. He did not seem to miss her or yearn for her after separating from each other for 2 years. Ding Ji could only sigh that her life was full of hardships and misfortunes. They had not seen each other at all for 2 years. There were many times when she thought of coming back to take a look at old Jiao and to have a long chat with him. She wanted to tell him that she was willing to change and she hoped that old Jiao would give her a chance to change. The 4 of them would be able to lead a happy and peaceful life together. But Zaijin stopped her and advised her to wait a while longer. Zaijin said that after being apart for so many years, she was not the only person who missed old Jiao. Old Jiao would have missed her as well. Therefore, as long as she could wait a while longer, when they finally reunited with each other, she would not need to give in to old Jiao. Instead, old Jiao would be willing to let her be in control of the family's finances and he would no longer side with the wretched girl. Ding Ji stopped herself from going back to old Jiao. She had finally waited until the day that they would be reunited. However, it was unlike the reunion that she had imagined. Ding Ji woke up yesterday. After she woke up, Xiao Dongliang took care of her and attended to her needs. However, he would only render his help when she needed. Apart from that, he was cold and reserved. Ding Ji had no one to talk to despite waking up from her sleep in the hospital. Now that Xiaonan was here, Ding Ji directed all her anger and unhappiness at Xiaonan. Xiaonan had expected her mother to lash out at her. She gritted her teeth and was about to rebut her. Zai Sheng pulled Xiaonan to stand behind him. Xiao Dongliang, who had been sitting down by the side, broke his silence. Nan, did you hear what your mother say? Your mother is hospitalized for 3 days and she has been through 4 hours of operation. Her medical bills amount to 2,357 yuan. You are without a conscience to borrow such a huge sum of money to pay for her medical bills. You are such a wretched girl. You should learn from your elder sister. She has not been in sight until now. She has not forked out a single cent as well. This is what we call being filial. She must have her reasons. Do you understand? Chapter 775. A sharp-tongued Xiao Dongliang. Bring me the IOU later. Pass it to your mom so that she can leave her thumbprint on it. As a daughter, you have to be like your elder sister. You have to be as filial as her. Do you understand? Yes. Xiao Nan took a breath before she responded. Ding Jiyi had sustained serious injuries. She was in a worse situation than Xiao Dongliang when he was in a car accident 2 years ago. During the 2 months when Xiao Dongliang was in the hospital, she and her 2 daughters waited on him and catered to his every need. In particular Xiao Nan. She would bring all the nutritious food and tonics to the hospital for Xiao Dongliang. Ding Jiyi felt that since she was in a worse situation than him, she would have the same treatment as well. In fact, judging from her injuries, she should be treated much better than Xiao Dongliang. However, Xiao Dongliang was cold as ice to her. She was angry that Xiao Nan only cared for her exams and did not bother to visit her. She suppressed her anger for 2 days, with no one to complain to. Now that Xiao Dongliang made such remarks, Ding Jiyi, who was infuriated, felt immense pain at the abdominal area where her rib bones were broken. She rolled her eyes in pain and anger. Xiao Dongliang looked at Xiao Nan and Zai Sheng, telling them to ignore Ding Jiyi. Ding Jiyi had to be in great pain after breaking 2 rib bones. She had hurt her lungs. There was nothing wrong with her heart. She might have faster blood circulation from being angry. However, apart from feeling the pain, her life would not be in danger. Ding Jiyi had just come back from the brink of death. However, nothing good came out of her mouth. She deserved to suffer in pain. Ding Jiyi kept silent for a good whole 10 minutes. She must have felt the pain from overexerting herself. By the time the pain subsided, her eyes were teary. Do you and your daughter intend to gang up and anger me to death? Don't forget, I am a patient. I am seriously injured and I almost died. I am your wife, and I am her mother. Is that how you should be treating me? Do you really can't wait for me to die? In this world, there are people who are smart and people who are stupid. When a person is stupid, they will be so stupid that it will result in their own demise. Xiao Dongliang's tone turned icy cold at Ding Jiyi's words of censure and blame. Nobody wished for her to die. Ding Jiyi already landed herself in this state, yet she still could not figure it out. She had wasted her time in this world. Xiao Dongliang noticed that Ding Jiyi still had more to say. He raised his voice to stop her. Over the years, you haven't been disciplining or caring for Nan Nan. You do not have the right to scold her. You are a patient. You need lots of rest now. I have already checked with the doctor. If you keep seeing people who will anger you, it will not aid in your recovery. You shouldn't be unhappy or keep losing your temper. Nan Nan, you should hurry back. Unless your mom has recovered, you should not see her. This is for her own good. You have your reasons like your sister. You are being filial to your mom by not visiting her. Since Ding Jiyi always drove people up the wall, Xiao Dongliang decided to learn from her. Okay. With Zai Sheng by her side and the protection of Xiao Dongliang, Xiao Nan, who was afraid of seeing Ding Jiyi, grew to be more courageous. She even played along with Xiao Dongliang. Ding Jiyi grew even more furious. I am not expecting you to help mediate when your parents are arguing, but how can you add fuel to the flames? You have been studying for so many years. Is that what the teachers have been teaching you? Do you still treat me as my goodness, she was in immense pain. Nan Nan, look at your mom. In order for her to make a quicker recovery, you should not visit your mom in the hospital. You have to wait until she is discharged. Since Ding Jiyi was being stubborn, Xiao Dongliang had no wish for his daughter to be scolded by Ding Jiyi and to suffer under her hands. Okay. Dad, Mom, goodbye. Xiao Nan had no wish to visit Ding Jiyi. She agreed readily. Mom, before you make a full recovery, I will not be here to anger you further. Mom, you must rest well. As for the IOU, I will get someone to bring it to you. The money that she gave her father to pay for the medical bills belonged to the family. She did not understand why her father said that the money was lent by someone else. However, she believed that her father must have done that for her sake. Wait, Ding Jiyi was unwilling to let Jiao Nan leave. She was hospitalized. As her daughter, Jiao Nan should stay by her side and wait on her like her servant. How could she let Jiao Nan off so easily? However, Ding Jiyi had forgotten that she was injured in her rib bones. If she exerted force to her abdominal cavity, she would be in great pain. Therefore, whenever she was angry, her chest movements would result in immense pain at her rib bones. By the time the pain subsided and Ding Jiyi had the energy to speak, Jiao Nan had already left with Zai Sheng. Old Jiao, are you doing this on purpose? You have been pampering that wretched Jiao Nan. I am her mother. She should stay to take care of me now that I am heavily injured. I have already said that I want Nan Nan to learn from Zaijin. All along, you like Zaijin and dislike Nan Nan. It must be that she has been doing a better job than Nan Nan to be able to please you. Isn't that so? Yes. Zaijin was good at everything that she did. Since this is the case, Nan Nan will treat you in the same way as to how Zaijin treats you. Nan Nan is learning from Zaijin, who has been doing a good job. It will not go wrong. You have not been home for 3 days. Zaijin must have her reasons for not visiting you. It is not possible that she is out playing and has no idea that you are missing, is it? Zi. Zaijin is participating in she is on a trip with her classmates. Ding Jiyi would not admit that Jiao Zaijin had not been treating her well. She would not spoil Jiao Dongliang's impression of Jiao Zaijin. I see. Jiao Dongliang pretended to believe her. Ding Jiyi felt a burst of joy. She knew that she still had her influence on old Jiao. However, Ding Jiyi's smile froze on her face when Jiao Dongliang continued with his sentence. It turns out that the reason you find Nan Nan a nuisance is that she did not go on a trip. All right, I will borrow 100 yuan so that Nan Nan can go on a trip with the young lady who lives next door. The young lady has good results and she is from Modu. Her grandparents are from the capital. More importantly, she is athletic and knows some martial skills. If Nan Nan travels with her, I do not have to worry about her safety. You are right. Nan Nan just finished her exams and should relax. You are indeed her mom. You care so much for her. You can rest assured that I will make a phone call to Nan Nan tomorrow morning, telling her not to worry and to borrow money from her neighbor so that she could go on a trip. We will help her repay the money that she owes. We are still around. We cannot possibly ask her to pay for the debts. Is that right, old Ding? There were censure and resentment in Jiao Dongliang's tone. His words were harsh and blunt. Ding Jiyi's face turned red at his words. Her hands that were placed on her wounds shook in anger. Chapter 776 Creating Gossip. Ding Jiyi was most reluctant to give Jiao Nan money to spend. She already could not bear to do so with the money that she had on hand. If she were to borrow money that was initially non-existent for Jiao Nan to spend, wouldn't that be akin to digging a piece of flesh from Ding Jiyi's heart or liver? Old Jiao, you know very well that. Are you doing this on purpose to anger me? I'm already so badly injured. Don't you feel the slightest heartache for me? After all, we're a married couple. Can you talk to me nicely? How are we going to live on like this? Ding Jiyi felt very sad. She nearly died, yet she did not receive any words of love and encouragement from her husband when she regained consciousness. Instead, he spoke in a cold and sarcastic manner to her all the time. Having been hurt deeply, beads of tears akin to the rain in June rolled down one by one from Ding Jiyi's eyes. Whether life goes on or not. We can take our time to discuss this after you recover from your injuries. There's no hurry, Jiao Dongliang said coldly. That simply made Ding Jiyi dumbstruck. Old Jiao, what do you mean by this? Ding Jiyi was not stupid. She naturally understood the underlying meaning in Jiao Dongliang's words. Ding Jiyi wanted to sit up. However, as she exerted pressure on her waist, she felt great pain in her chest. Ding Jiyi's forehead broke out in a cold sweat. At the sight of this, Xiao Dongliang did not move at all. There's no hurry. We can talk again when your injuries are better. Talk about what? When my injuries are slightly better, you're going to divorce me immediately. Ding Jiyi held onto her tummy and looked at Xiao Dongliang tearfully. When I married you in the past, I had nothing. I'm old and no longer good looking now. After I have gone through tough times with you, you don't want me anymore? Xiao Dongliang, you still call yourself a soldier. Why are you abandoning your first wife in this way? Has your conscience been eaten by a dog? You don't want me anymore just because I'm hospitalized because of a car accident? You only have money in your mind now. Xiao Dongliang laughed coldly. Of course, my conscience has been eaten by a dog. You should know very clearly who was the one who had taken away my 10 years of hard-earned salary. When you married me, yes, I was poor and had nothing. Then, why don't you tell me? After being married to you for more than 10 years, do I have anything more? When others marry a wife, their family life improves as time goes by. I married a wife too. Is there a difference whether I married a wife or not? Although these are feudal mindsets and superstitious beliefs, you're different from other wives. You don't bring luck to your husband. Moreover, you also don't even have the capability to manage the household. If I only cared about money, do you think you would have the chance to spend my savings of more than 10 years without sounding me out where I was keeping it? I only found out about it half a year after you spent the money. Ding Jiyi's voice was too loud. Moreover, everyone had a tendency to join where the crowd was. When they heard sounds of arguments from the ward next door, a few people had already crowded the entrance of Ding Jiyi's ward to eavesdrop on what was going on. Initially, when everyone heard Ding Jiyi mention that that man was going to divorce her as he was unwilling to spend money due to her car accident and hospitalization, those people who were listening looked down on Xiao Dongliang and felt that he was not a good man. As the saying goes, husband and wife might be living in the same forest, but when faced with adversity, they would fly away in different directions. This saying reflected reality too well. In comparison to Ding Jiyi's shouting, Xiao Dongliang's extraordinary calm words revealed more information. Upon hearing that Ding Jiyi finished spending more than 10 years of savings of the Xiao family without breathing a word, and the head of the family, Xiao Dongliang, only found out half a year later, they felt that this woman was clearly the most daring prodigal wife. With this kind of wife, if the man did not look after his own money, then they could forget about having any family savings. As a man, who would dare to have such a wife? His own earnings would not be enough for her to squander away. At the mention of this matter, Ding Jiyi did feel guilty. Don't say such words that can easily cause a misunderstanding. Yes, I spent the money, but I didn't spend it on myself. I did that because I wanted our daughter to have a better future, to let her study in a better school. However, I didn't spend a single cent of it on myself. Ding Jiyi expressed that she was not willing to be the scapegoat for this. Yes, in our family of 4, you dumped all our family savings for the sake and future of one person, Zijin. You don't care about the life and death of Nan Nan and me anymore, right? You gave birth to Nan Nan, yet you spent all my savings to pay for Zijin's tuition fees, and then, you wanted Nan Nan to discontinue her studies to work and earn money to support Zijin. Fine. 2 years ago, when I met with a car accident, we didn't even have any money available for my hospitalization. If Nan Nan, who was just a child, had not been thick-skinned enough to borrow money for my surgery, I would have become ashes now. You. What did you do when Nan Nan went to borrow money? You were just sitting along the corridors of the hospital, slapping your thighs and crying. You lamented that you were penniless, the hospital was unkind, and that they were robbing lives and money if they refused to save me. Then, All the debtors whom you previously borrowed money from came looking for you at that moment. Ha ha ha, fortunately, I still have Nan Nan, this daughter. If I relied on Zijin and you, I would have died 8 or 10 times. Yes, I don't have a conscience. I nearly died a few times in your hands because I didn't have a conscience. If I had conscience toward you, Nan Nan and I would have died long ago. Ding Ji wanted to bring up old scores. Then, the old scores accumulated in Xiao Dongliang's tummy could be told until tomorrow or even the day after. At the mention of that car accident from 2 years ago, Ding Ji really could not find any words to defend herself with. Well, what Xiao Dongliang said was the truth. You're speechless now? You don't have anything to say, but I do. After Nan Nan borrowed the money and saved my life, you even let Nan Nan repay that sum of money alone. You said it did not have anything to do with our family, who had asked Nan Nan to borrow the money to save me. So, I'm only Nan Nan's father. I'm not your husband and not Zijin's father? Fine. You've taken the initiative to separate our family of 4 into 2 households. What can I say? Aren't I granting you your wish now? Xiao Dongliang's words made those who were eavesdropping outside dumbfounded. What kind of person is this? With this kind of wife, he may as well remain a bachelor for life. Isn't that so? She has such an evil heart. This man must have been down on luck for 18 lifetimes to be involved with such a woman. Xiao Dongliang, who do you mean when you said all these? Ding Ji could clearly hear the heated discussions among those people outside. She was thus very embarrassed. She was so angry that she could feel smoke rising from her head. Xiao Dongliang was as calm as before. Nothing. I just hope that you will know your own limits. You're a patient who had a car accident, so don't be a nuisance and don't always treat Nan Nan and me as eyesores. If you scold Nan Nan again, don't blame me for being unruly. When I met with a car accident 2 years ago, Nan Nan was the one who borrowed money and saved me. 2 years later, you met with a car accident, and Nan Nan was also the one who supported you. We have Nan Nan, such a good daughter. It's our blessing due to the good deeds that we did in our previous lives. Chapter 777 is that your mother or auntie? Taking into account our over 10 years of relationship as a married couple, let me advise you. Even if this is your good fortune, you shouldn't go overboard in your doings. You have squandered away this good fortune. He could already tell since long ago that besides addressing Ding Ji as mom, in her heart, Nan Nan was, in fact, no longer willing to treat Ding Ji as her mother. Unfortunately, Ding Ji was still so full of herself and thought that Nan Nan was in her clutches and had to obey her words for life. If she wanted to scold or hit Nan Nan could only endure it obediently without resisting. Nan Nan had just finished her college entrance examination. Given Nan Nan's grades, it's not difficult to be admitted even into a top-tier key university in the capital. As a mother, you're of no help, but you should refrain from causing harm to Nan Nan. Understand? As a mother, will I harm her? I'm her biological mother. When had she caused real harm to Xiaonan? If she had really wanted to harm her, would Xiaonan have grown to this age? You still don't believe it when I say that you're dumb. Rest well to recover from your injuries. Regardless of the situation of our relationship, it shouldn't affect our children. When you have recovered, we can talk about other matters again. Having finished his words, Xiao Dongliang shut his eyes and declined to have any further conversation with Ding Ji. There was no longer any show to watch. All of a sudden, the crowd at the entrance of the ward was gone. Ding Ji, who was lying on the bed, dug her fingers hard on the headboard of the bed. Her heart was filled with anger. After saying so much, it was all because she had given that wretched girl a few scoldings earlier. Hence, old Xiao deliberately made things difficult for her to take revenge on behalf of that wretched girl. Just wait and see. 2 years had passed. Did old Chiao still think that she was that timid woman in the past who he could threaten with a divorce? She was sick of this tactic. Unless Chiao Nan did not appear, she would continue to torture Chiao Nan. She wanted to see what else old Chiao could do besides having all talk and no action toward her. Divorce. This had been on the talks for 2 to 3 years. He had not even brought her to the Civil Affairs Bureau to settle the administration matters of a divorce. Was he bluffing her as if she was a 3-year-old child? Ding Jiyi, who had stayed separately from Chiao Dongliang for 2 years, was so certain that Chiao Dongliang's threat of divorce was just one of his means to threaten her, that it was not true that he wanted to divorce her. Hence, in Ding Jiyi's heart, she had nothing to fear even if she were to do anything to Chiao Nan. She even complacently thought that Chiao Dongliang was not the only one who knew this tactic. She knew as well. She could forget about this occasion where Chiao Dongliang badly defended Chiao Nan in front of her. However, if Chiao Dongliang dared to do that in front of Chiao Zijin, she would initiate talks about divorce without the need for Chiao Dongliang to do so. At that time, she wanted to see if Chiao Dongliang would dare to go to the Civil Affairs Bureau to settle the divorce administration matters with her. If Chiao Dongliang dared not do so, then she would be the one calling the shots in this family in the future. On the other hand, after Chiao Nan heard Chiao Dongliang's words, she left swiftly without any hesitation. When she was downstairs and passing by the lobby, Chiao Nan knitted her brows. What's wrong? Zai Sheng looked at Chiao Nan. Perhaps I've seen wrongly. Chiao Nan was not quite sure too. Forget it. Let's go home. Yes. It was only when Zai Sheng and Chiao Nan left the lobby did Chiao Zijin, who was hiding, heave a sigh of relief. She then walked to the reception counter to inquire about Ding Jiyi's medical condition. Nurse, could you please help me check something? 3 days ago, a woman surnamed Ding was admitted here due to a car accident. How is she now? Are you referring to Ding Jiyi? The nurse flipped her records and asked. Yes, it's her. Chiao Zijin let out a sigh of relief. Fortunately, the information that Chen Jun provided her was correct. Her mother was really staying in this hospital. May I ask how her condition is? Is it severe? After going through the surgery, her life is no longer in danger. She broke 2 ribs and hurt the lobes of her lungs. Most likely, she will take a long time to recover. How are you related to the patient? Why was she asking so many questions? Oh, I am her neighbor's child. My mom is on very good terms with her. My mom is worried about Auntie Ding, but she doesn't have the spare time to come as she is tied up recently. Hence, she asked me to inquire about this. The good thing is that it's summer vacation now and I don't need to go to school. I'm running an errand for my mom. Of course, Chiao Zijin dared not say that she was Ding Jiyi's daughter. Her biological mother had been hospitalized for 3 days and she only appeared now. This was abnormal. She was not Chiao Nan and did not have a valid excuse for participating in the college entrance examination. Oh, is that so? When did mom become an auntie from your neighborhood? When did you have another mom? Is that your biological mother or godmother? That cold-sounding voice of Chiao Nan rang behind Chiao Zijin's back. Mom has been hospitalized for 3 days. I really can't visit her because of the college entrance examination. Chiao Zijin, where did you come from? You even said that you're a child of mom's neighbor and you're here to inquire about mom's condition. True enough, her eyes were not playing tricks on her. Chiao Zijin really came to the hospital. Upon hearing this voice, Chiao Zijin was shocked. She was so frightened that she nearly ran away like a rabbit immediately. The nurse who had been inquired by Chiao Zijin earlier was dumbfounded. She blinked her eyes. The both of you are. The lady who was sent to the hospital due to a car accident the day before is our mother. Ah! The jaws of the nurse dropped in shock. But she clearly told me that her mom is good friends with your mom, that she's the daughter of your mom's good friend." At the end of the speech, the nurse nearly bit her own tongue. She really took her hat off this girl. She had told so many lies earlier but did not seem to be having any difficulty doing that at all. "How are the two of you related to each other exactly?" "Sisters, biological sisters. She's older than me by 2 years." This was the first time that Jiao Nan did not shun away from her relationship with Jiao Zijin. Instead, she enthusiastically told others about the relationship between them. "Enough." Jiao Zijin's face was turning redder. She could not lift up her head as many passers-by were casting strange looks at them. "Is it enough?" Jiao Nan sneered. "Mom dotes on you most. She gets angry whenever she sees me. You're so filial. Since you're here, aren't you going to visit Mom? Or do you intend to continue to address Mom as Auntie?" Jiao Zijin gritted her teeth. "I don't need you to be a busybody. I already came to the hospital. Of course, I'll definitely go and see Mom." "That's really your mom?" The young nurse seemed to be holding a knife and adding another stab viciously at Jiao Zijin. "That person is clearly your mother, then why did you address her as your auntie in front of me?" The voice of the young nurse was not soft and there were many people in the lobby. Hence, many became aware that a patient's biological daughter came to the hospital and addressed her own mother as her auntie. She seemed to have something to hide or was unwilling to acknowledge her biological mother. What kind of daughter was this? Jiao Zijin's face was so flustered and red as if it was going to bleed any time. She gritted her teeth and said, "Aren't you going back? I can look for Mom myself." "Of course I'm going back." She could not be bothered to lead the way for Jiao Zijin anyway. She was purely here to catch Jiao Zijin red-handed and make the latter feel bad. Jiao Zijin appeared at the hospital at this time. Obviously, Jiao Zijin must have been involved in their mother's car accident that happened 3 days ago during her college entrance examination. Chapter 778 The Dumbfounded Ding Ji. In her previous life, her mother wanted her kidney to save Jiao Zijin and caused her death in a car accident. In this life, to prevent her from taking the college entrance examination, Jiao Zijin nearly caused her mother to die under the wheels. At the thought of this, Jiao Nan suddenly felt that they were very ludicrous. Heaven has justice and one will not be able to escape from their retribution. When Jiao Zijin did this, she felt that her grievances had been redressed and her mother had received her retribution. "Brothers, let's go back." "Wait. You. How are the two of you related to each other?" At the thought that Jiao Nan and Zai Sheng were holding hands as they walked out, and also Zai Sheng's reputation and status, Jiao Zijin reached out her arms and blocked Jiao Nan's way, refusing to let her leave. "What do you think?" Jiao Nan raised her hand that was holding onto that of Zai Sheng. Jiao Zijin bit her lips so hard that it nearly bled. "Jiao Nan, you are not doing the right thing. You're just a student and shouldn't be involved in a romantic relationship at such a young age. I'm your sister, your biological sister. I'm saying this for the sake of your own good." Jiao Nan actually had connections with the Zai family. She was together with Zai Sheng, who was the most promising individual in the quad. How was that possible? How could she do that? The term puppy love was sensitive in China. Previously, those people who were staring at Jiao Zijin now turned their glances toward Jiao Nan. Jiao Nan chuckled. "Sister, you seem to have forgotten. I have just finished taking my college entrance examination today." The completion of one's college entrance examination was considered a milestone in one's life. The things that could not be done before the college entrance examination were mostly allowed after the examination. "Sister, if you have nothing else to say, I'll go home first." "Right, if you don't know which ward Mom is staying at, you can find someone to help you lead the way. Coincidentally, I'm going to your mom's ward to send her medication. I can lead the way for you." At this juncture, another nurse who had been standing by the side and listening in on the conversation stood out with a friendly smile. "Thank you." At this moment, Qiao Zijin was put in a spot. She could not leave even if she wanted to. She had just addressed her biological mother as auntie and was immediately exposed by Qiao Nan. If she was to say that she had to leave as she was tied up now, how would others view her? In short, after being exposed on the spot by Qiao Nan about her relationship with Ding Jiyi, Qiao Zijin felt so ashamed that she wanted to find a place to hide. She just wished to leave the lobby as soon as possible. "Then, let's go." The young nurse smiled and took the initiative to lead the way for Qiao Zijin. "Let's go too." During the whole process where Qiao Nan was dealing with Qiao Zijin, Zai Sheng stood quietly beside Qiao Nan, giving her his support silently. "You're letting her off so easily. Otherwise." Qiao Nan sighed. "She's my sister, my closest kin. I can help you." "No need. You're a soldier." Qiao Nan rejected. She was very insistent on this. "If you really help me with this, Chief Zai won't be happy about it. Moreover, it's not necessary to teach them so many lessons. My sister and my mom share the same temperament. The fox may grow but never good. They're the best examples for this saying." "That's true." Zai Sheng gave a laugh. "You don't need to be too worried. You'll be released from all these soon." Qiao Nan did not understand. Released from what? Her mother met with a car accident but her life was no longer in danger. She wished to be relieved. Unless her mother had passed away naturally many decades later and Qiao Zijin died as she could not be saved in time after contracting uremia again, how could she be relieved? "There's no hurry. You'll understand after some time." Zai Sheng was not telling Qiao Nan something yet. Qiao Nan had been shunned away after only taking a glance at Ding Jiyi in the hospital. That was something to be happy about. Of course, that excluded the verbal abuses that Ding Jiyi let out during the meeting. Due to this, Zai Sheng had a better understanding of how hard Qiao Nan's life had been in the past. "I hope so, brother Zai. I'm tired. I wish to go home to rest." The college entrance examination had ended. Clearly, Qiao Nan and Shi Qing had rested well during the few days of the examination. However, after meeting Ding Jiyi, Qiao Nan's state of mind became extremely exhausted. She just wished to have a good rest. "Uncle Qiao is still taking care of your mom in the hospital. You should continue to stay with the Shi family during these few days. Don't stay alone. Understand?" Zai Sheng still did not feel at ease to let Qiao Nan stay alone at home. No one could guarantee that those people who created the trouble during the day of the college entrance examination would give up on or postpone dealing with Qiao Nan after that failure. Given his current identity, Zai Sheng was unable to keep Qiao Nan company by her side. Hence, Zai Sheng could only endure it and let Qiao Nan stay at the Shi family. He would feel more at ease then. Qiao Nan nodded. "That's good too. However, Qiao Zijin bumped into the two of us directly today. We don't know when she may tell Auntie Miao about us directly." After enduring for 2 years, Qiao Nan felt that perhaps it was time to explain to Miao Zheng. The two of them could not possibly keep the truth from Auntie Miao until the moment that they get engaged, right? Okay. It was not easy for Qiao Nan to agree to reveal their relationship to his mother. Zai Sheng smiled satisfactorily. "Let's go. It's already very late." When Zai Sheng sent Qiao Nan to the house of the Shi family, Shi Qing happened to arrive home. The two young ladies went marketing and then cooked together. After finishing their meals, they bathed and slept. They fell into a deep sleep at the same time. Qiao Nan felt more comfortable and relaxed thereafter. On the other hand, Ding Jiyi was beginning to feel uncomfortable. After having an argument with Qiao Dongliang, the injured Ding Jiyi felt weak and soft at this moment no matter how she consoled herself. As an ordinary woman, she hoped that she could receive the care and love of others, especially her husband, At this point in time, Xiao Dongliang had been giving her cold shoulders. He even brought up old scores in front of outsiders and let people in the hospital misunderstand that she was a vicious and wastrel wife. Only Ding Jiyi herself knew how much humiliation and pain she felt in her heart. Ah, has your other daughter, the elder one, gone back? The young nurse who was going to change the drip for Ding Jiyi came in. She felt strange when she saw that only Ding Jiyi and Xiao Dongliang were left in the ward. She left so quickly. Which other daughter? Xiao Dongliang narrowed his eyes while Ding Jiyi perked up and straightened her ears to hear. The one that came earlier. That's your family's younger daughter, right? Yes. Thereafter, a lady who's slightly older came to the hospital. She seems to be your elder daughter. I even led the way here for her. It's just that the senior nurse asked me to attend to some matters while we're on the way. Hence, I asked her to bring the medicine over to you. You have taken the medicine for tonight. Right. The young nurse blinked. The daughter had left after just half an hour. Wasn't that a little too fast? No, Ding Jiyi was dumbstruck. Xiao Dongliang's chest lifted gradually. She had taken the medicine for the night, but it was sent over by another nurse. And not the other daughter who was the elder one. Zijin came to the hospital today. In that case, she was definitely aware that Ding Jiyi was hospitalized due to a car accident. Chapter 779 would not relent. Ah! This time, it was the young nurse's turn to be dumbstruck. She suddenly laughed. I say, the two daughters from your family are both quite strange. It's fine that the younger daughter couldn't visit you at the hospital because she had to take the college entrance examination. Isn't your elder daughter studying in college? The funny thing is, when your elder daughter came to the hospital to inquire about your condition, she actually said that she's your neighbor's daughter and even addressed you as her auntie. Your family's situation is so complicated. Did you pass this elder daughter for adoption? Otherwise, which daughter would address her own mother as auntie? Wasn't that amusing? After dumping these words that were as powerful as a bomb, the young nurse pushed the trolley and left after changing the drip for Ding Jiyi. She left behind Ding Jiyi, who was filled with anxiety and seemingly struck by lightning, and Xiao Dongliang, who became even more silent as fumes of anger seemed to be building up in him. After some time, Ding Jiyi then gave an unnatural smile. Maybe it's a misunderstanding, or maybe they have mistaken someone's identity. If the nurse was really referring to Zijin. If Zijin were to find out that she had met with a car accident, she would certainly feel very worried. How could she pass the medicine to someone else, asking them to bring it to her, and did not even leave her any messages? No, this was certainly not the case. Since she was a child, Zijin has a good temper and a glib tongue. Would she address me as auntie in front of outsiders? What a joke. That nurse was talking nonsense. But she shouldn't do so about such things. She's too unethical. Xiao Dongliang sneered. Really? I find it strange. If that young lady was not Xiao Zijin, then why would others say that she's our other elder daughter? This happened in such a short time. When Xiao Zijin appeared, coincidentally, it was around the time Nan Nan left. Do you mean to say that when Zijin pretended to be my neighbor's child and addressed me as auntie, she coincidentally met Xiao Nan and was exposed by the latter? Impossible. It's absolutely impossible. Zijin is such a good child. Could she address me as her auntie? I don't believe this. I definitely won't believe this. Ding Jiyi frowned badly and refused to admit the truth. Xiao Dongliang snorted softly. His eyes were full of disdain and mockery. What's the hurry? The nurse who came earlier has such a deep impression of this matter. If Zijin comes again next time, do you think she will be able to identify whether Zijin is the young lady that she was referring to today? That was self-denial. I don't believe this. Anyway, I won't believe this. I'm tired. Ding Jiyi covered herself with a blanket. She just wanted to cover her head and sleep to avoid the look in Xiao Dongliang's eyes and his interrogations. She had been hospitalized for 3 days. Ding Jiyi was, in fact, happy that the first person that she saw when she opened her eyes was Xiao Dongliang. It was just that when she gradually regained her consciousness, she had not fulfilled her wish to see Xiao Zijin, the second person that she wanted to see. Ding Jiyi thus felt uneasy at heart. She then tried to find various excuses for Xiao Zijin in front of Xiao Dongliang. It was all excuses when she said that Xiao Zijin went traveling with her classmates. Ding Jiyi was well aware that Xiao Zijin had returned to Pingcheng as soon as the summer vacation started. If Xiao Zijin had not returned to Pingcheng and told her that the economy was bad, that she had to continue her studies but the money at home was really insufficient. She also said that she happened to know someone who needed to buy a house. That person was willing to pay a high price to buy over their small courtyard in the quad. With this sum of money, the mother-daughter pair could have a more generous lifestyle for a longer period in the future. After they finished spending the money, it was almost time for Xiao Zijin to graduate from school then. She could then work to earn money and support Ding Jiyi and herself. Without these words of Xiao Zijin, Ding Jiyi would not have returned to Pingcheng and passed by Pingcheng High School. In the absence of this premise, Ding Jiyi would not have met with a car accident. At the moment she was knocked down by a car, Ding Jiyi really believed that she was going to die. When she still had a little sense of consciousness, Ding Jiyi could feel that the ribs in her tummy were broken. Her chest felt so painful that she could not say a word. Once she opened her mouth, she vomited immediately instead of saying a word. Until that moment, Ding Jiyi still did not blame Xiao Zijin for the car accident. If Xiao Zijin really came to the hospital today, did not visit her, and even told others that she was her neighbor's daughter, Ding Jiyi felt consistent quavers in her heart. She really could not accept such an outcome. Regardless of the excuses she made for Xiao Zijin, Ding Jiyi could not accept that the daughter she loved most did not come and visit her for the entire 3 days when she was fighting for her life. Then, when her daughter appeared, she claimed that she was not her daughter. How could this be possible? That young nurse must have been talking nonsense. She was weaving lies without a basis. Right, that must be the case. Didn't old Xiao say that Xiao Nan, that wretched girl, had just left during that time? Perhaps that wretched girl gave money to and bribed the nurse to deliberately tell such a lie to sow discord between Zijin and her. It was fine that that wretched girl was mean. She did not expect the nurse in this hospital to be as unethical and did such a mean and shameless thing. After a round of self-consolation, Ding Jiyi's anger eased a little and she gradually fell asleep. Xiao Dongliang, who had been by Ding Jiyi's side and watching Ding Jiyi sleep with her head covered despite the hot weather, laughed mockingly before he turned and continued to sleep. As expected by Xiao Dongliang, when Ding Jiyi woke up the next day, she had a body full of rashes due to the fact that she had covered herself for the entire night. It was the summer period. The wards in the hospital only had fans. Unfortunately, Ding Jiyi was severely injured and had many bandages on her body. Especially for the first few days. They could not even wipe away her sweat. She could thus only endure the suffering. Ding Jiyi had been covering herself last night and perspiring non-stop. It would be strange if she did not break out in rashes. At the sight of Ding Jiyi, who was full of rashes on her face and head, Xiao Dongliang stared coldly by the side. He was not willing to bother much about her. She allowed Ding Jiyi to wail and complain that the rashes were itchy and painful. Xiao Dongliang refused to respond to Ding Jiyi or even console her. Hearing Ding Jiyi wail, the nurse who was changing medication for Ding Jiyi also frowned. "Can you stop shouting? If this continued, Ding Jiyi might hurt her own throat. Ask your loved one to prepare some Florida water and rashes powder. When your injuries and skin are better, they will be of some use." Covering one's head to sleep during summertime and thus broke out in rashes. This was the first time the nurse heard such a joke. She had really widened her horizons. Hearing what the nurse said, Ding Jiyi, who was wailing from time to time, cast glances at Xiao Dongliang. If Xiao Dongliang did not respond, she would wail louder. She had the intention to torture Xiao Dongliang into a reaction and agree to buy these items and take care of her. However, this time, Xiao Dongliang seemed to have made up his mind firmly. He refused to soften his heart for Ding Jiyi at all. Chapter 780. What a huge temper! Due to what the young nurse said yesterday, Xiao Dongliang had been thinking for the entire night. He suddenly realized that he not only had to be hard-hearted to Ding Jiyi but also must change his attitude toward Xiao Zijin, this daughter. Of course, he wished that his daughter was the most adorable and kind as well as the best daughter in the world. However, the truth was undeniable. So many things had happened. Even if Xiao Dongliang still had the benevolence of a father, he could no longer treat Xiao Zijin as a simple and innocent child who had not stepped into society. When he met with a car accident years ago, he could, in fact, already tell the realistic and selfish nature of Xiao Zijin. It was just that he was unwilling to admit it at that time. Good day, may I ask if you are Comrade Xiao and Madame Ding? Good day. Seeing that the other party was also a young nurse in the hospital, Xiao Dongliang stood up. His attitude was completely different from the tough demeanor that he had when he faced Ding Jiyi. Looking at this, Ding Jiyi felt her heart soured. The young nurse smiled. These items are delivered to you by your daughter. Quickly eat them. Thank you. Xiao Dongliang took over the lunch boxes from the hands of the young nurse. The moment she heard this, Ding Jiyi, who was still listless a second earlier, suddenly seemed to have been injected with chicken blood. Did you see that? I've already said before that Zijin is the best child in this world. Yesterday's matter must have been a misunderstanding. That woman is definitely not Zijin. Isn't this? Zijin directly sent us food. She was unlike Xiao Nan, that wretched girl, who only had the father in heart and treated her, the mother, like she was dead. If the one who came to the hospital yesterday was not Zijin, how was she able to deliver food to your ward today? I think your brains are the organs that were hit that day. She could even say such contradictory things. Her brains had really been damaged. After opening the lunch box, Xiao Dongliang smiled. Xiao Zijin has been raised by you such that she never does any household chores. Even if she has changed that habit, most of the food that she prepared is not nice. This culinary skills only Nan Nan has it. Xiao Nan delivered 2 kinds of lunch boxes. One of them contained plain white porridge that was as white as a sheet, whereas the other contained rice, meat, vegetables, and also an egg that was cooked sunny side up. Undoubtedly, the one with rice, vegetables, and meat was prepared for Xiao Dongliang. As for the plain and bland white porridge, it must be for Ding Jiyi. Oh, this smells really fragrant. The two of you are so blessed. The young lady looks so obedient and sensible. She's also very polite when she speaks. I didn't expect her to be able to cook so well at such a young age. Smelling such fragrant food, the young lady was also feeling hungry. However, she was embarrassed to share the patient's food. She thus quickly left and got her meal at the canteen. Smelling the fragrance of the food, Ding Jiyi had to consider the capability of Xiao Zijin even if she had wanted to do something against her conscience such as helping Xiao Zijin redeem herself. After taking a few deep breaths, Ding Jiyi was angry. Why did she have to trouble others with small matters such as delivering food? Are her limbs broken or she can't move as she's lying on the bed like me due to a car accident? You told me that Xiao Nan is good. In what way is she good? Why can't I tell? She has no manners. Is that young nurse who came earlier blind? She described such an ill-mannered child polite. She has not seen Zijin before. After seeing Zijin, she will know who the best child in this world is. Ha! Xiao Dongliang could not be bothered to argue with Ding Jiyi on this. Who was the blind one? One should know in their heart. Xiao Dongliang placed the plain porridge in front of Ding Jiyi. Ding Jiyi's ribs and not hands were broken. Hence, Xiao Dongliang only set up the small table on the bed for Ding Jiyi and placed the porridge and spoon on it. Next, he completely ignored Ding Jiyi and let her take the food on her own. After taking care of Ding Jiyi, Xiao Dongliang returned to his seat. He then opened the lunch box and took a huge mouthful of rice, followed by another huge mouthful of vegetables. The food seemed so delicious. During the first 3 days when Xiao Nan was taking the college entrance examination, Xiao Dongliang was not picky and he bought food from outside to satisfy his hunger. Ding Jiyi was seriously injured and someone had to stay by her side. Xiao Dongliang was the only one from the Xiao family who could watch after Ding Jiyi. Hence, when Xiao Dongliang went to get food, he dared not go too far away. He headed directly to the hospital's canteen and ate poor and expensive food. Xiao Dongliang had suffered much, both psychologically and physiologically, during the past few days. While consuming the food with a familiar taste, Xiao Dongliang's spirit lifted. He had a feeling that he was reborn. Xiao Dongliang was happily eating while Ding Jiyi's face turned blacker with every mouth of the porridge that she took. It was undeniable that, although it was plain porridge, Xiao Nan had cooked it very well. It was fragrant and thick and completely incomparable to what was sold at the hospital canteen. However, humans are always insatiable. Clearly, she had been taking plain porridge that tasted like dog food for the past 2 days. As such, the quality of her food was considered to have improved today, but she was dissatisfied all the same. She could smell the fragrance of the rice and dishes that Xiao Dongliang were having, especially the fragrance of that braised red meat. It smelled so good that Ding Jiyi was drooling. Her eyes were filled with greed. Compared to that lunch box that smelled, tasted, and looked good, that plain and bland porridge of hers was thrash. After taking only a few mouthfuls, Ding Jiyi flared up and slapped the bowl of porridge, causing it to spill onto the floor. What kind of thing is this? Does she want to starve me to death? Where's the promised chicken shredded porridge? She's using such cheap and insincere stuff to deal with me. True enough, she doesn't have me this mother in her heart. Old Xiao, tell Xiao Nan now that even if I can't take rice, I want to eat shredded chicken porridge. I suffered many serious injuries and bled so much. I want to nourish my body well. Ask her to prepare all these things one by one. The treatment that old Xiao received when he was previously hospitalized, she wanted all of them. Xiao Dongliang did not utter a word. After finishing his food, he washed the empty lunch boxes. Ding Jiyi was enduring her anger. She believed that Xiao Dongliang would definitely listen to her and instruct Xiao Nan after he finished washing the lunch boxes. She was the injured one. She was hospitalized. Therefore, she was the one who had the biggest say in the Xiao family now. Ding Jiyi quietly waited for Xiao Dongliang to come back. She would never have expected that, when the door was opened again, the doctor and nurses doing their rounds around noon were the ones who entered. It was not Xiao Dongliang. When the doctor and nurses came in, they saw the porridge splattered by Ding Jiyi all over the floor. The few were dumbstruck. They blinked their eyes and did not understand what was happening. It was only until this moment that Xiao Dongliang entered the ward. Sorry, please excuse us. Her temper is not very good. She also doesn't like our younger daughter. This porridge was prepared by our younger daughter. Don't be anxious. I'll clean them up immediately. If there was a younger daughter, it meant that they had an elder daughter. Oh, so it was the news that was spread in the hospital today. It was that lady who addressed her biological mother as auntie, saying she wanted to visit her mother but ran off halfway and even passed her biological mother's medicine to someone else to send over. It was a true story. She must have so much dislike for the younger daughter to be able to smash the bowl porridge that her younger daughter had painstakingly prepared to floor. What a huge temper.